briefly about my work in Uganda. It's with a very small NGO and charity, which was originally set up on behalf of Ugandans communities, but with a link to the UK. And it's called African Village Support. And the communities that they support are based in a very remote area of eastern Uganda. The nearest town is called Muyembe. The nearest big place you'd see on a map is called Umbale. And these are just very remote rural villages in this part of Uganda. It's poor. There are low levels of literacy, low levels of education. Healthcare is poor. Climate change has had huge impacts there. They either suffer from extreme droughts or flooding. It's it's one extreme or the other. And yet, it's interesting, isn't it? Josette and I are talking mostly about women entrepreneurs, and again, my stories are mostly about women entrepreneurs. There might be something to talk about that later about why is it predominantly women, but it just is. So this particular charity I've been working with has been supporting the women entrepreneurs to set up small businesses, but they are social entrepreneurs because all of the women's groups that are formed to do this work are there to generate some income to feed back into the local community. So they're feeding money back to support the vulnerable, the poor, to afford the fees for children to go to school, to feed them and to clothe them and so on. So there were no entrepreneurs I met that were there just to make money for themselves. They were all about raising money for their communities, not just their families, but their communities. And the kinds of businesses they've been setting up are mostly agricultural. So they, when we sit down together, I've been involved in training and facilitation with the purpose being to make them autonomous and sustainable. There is sometimes in these parts of Africa I go to a culture of what I would call aid dependency. And this is much more about saying you don't have to wait for someone to arrive with a pot of money. You can you can develop your own skills to be autonomous and self-sustaining, and they love it when they're in control in that way. And the kinds of projects or businesses they're running are to do particularly with cows and milk, chickens, eggs, pigs, sugar, matoke, maize, mostly agricultural. Some are involved in other products that they manufacture. There was a big push for reusable sanitary products, which some of the women's groups were manufacturing and then selling to local markets. And they make things like soap and toiletries as well. So very practical, very simple ideas. But what they weren't able to do at first was understand simple ideas like bookkeeping, understanding profit and loss, how to calculate the right price and sell within different markets, and understanding competition. So simple business planning, entrepreneurial perspectives and skills to enable them to do the things they want to do and to make some money from it. So that was the context.